All right, hey, welcome back to Principles of Accounting 2 in the fall 2024 semester. Still your host, Dr. B. We are in the last few days of the semester. I think classes officially end tomorrow-ish, or thereabouts. But there's a couple of days in between. So what we're going to talk about today is we're going to talk about the final two deliverables for this course, which some of you have already done, so thank you for that. And some of you who are working on it, and thank you for that, your efforts. So let's talk about a couple of things. I'm going to put this into the student well, first I'm going to start sharing my screen, and then I'll show you exactly what we're talking about today. So there's two things that we need to accomplish here in the next few days. One of those is a written report, and the other is the final exam. So let's talk about both of those things today. And this whole discussion should only take us maybe a few minutes, but wanted you all to have the opportunity to share with me any thoughts and all of that good stuff. So if you scroll to the bottom of the home page of our classroom, a couple things you're going to notice here. One is labeled Week 15 QuickBooks, and the other is labeled Final Exam. So first, let's take a look at this Week 15 QuickBooks. You're going to select Action and Expression, and then you're going to select the QuickBooks Learning Summary Report, and then click on Start Attempt. This is the instructions for your written report. This is not the same as your certificate. This is not a certificate. This is not a LinkedIn Learning certificate. This is a written report that is based off of your experience in this class learning about QuickBooks. And it's not long. Your report does not have to be long. We're looking at, between 800 and 1,000 words, which is roughly about three pages worth of stuff, worth of content. It's not bad. It ain't bad at all. I've seen way longer reports than that. I'm not super strict on the formatting, although I do want it to be as clean as possible and clear and concise. So use your Microsoft Word or something similar thereof and write out your report. Now, your report needs to have these 10 elements, okay? The first part is an introduction. So you'll write about the importance of learning QuickBooks in today's accounting environment or financial landscape from a business perspective. You'll write about processes and accuracy and the importance behind data-driven decision-making. So they'll all be in your introduction section of your report. The second section of your report should be called Overview of QuickBooks. And what this is you're telling me about what you know about QuickBooks features, modules, and how it's used in accounting and financial management. And you can look at the different versions, online, desktop, because you've learned about QuickBooks through the LinkedIn Learning certificates. So you know about the different components that the software provides. So you'll talk about the overview, and then you'll talk about the third section, which is your practical experience. You'll tell me about what your experience has been like going through the LinkedIn Learning certificates, and talk about, the QuickBooks overall, like creating accounts, recording transactions, et cetera, et cetera. So the practical application of QuickBooks is what I'm looking for there in the third section. The fourth section is a nice overview of the key functions of the tools within QuickBooks. What you found most valuable, how it helps with efficient bookkeeping, reporting, financial analysis, etc. The fifth section of your report should be about your challenges that you've encountered. Whether you're just reflecting here, you're reflecting on your learning experience with QuickBooks through the LinkedIn Learning Certificates. What type of challenges did you face, or maybe challenges that you might face in business implementing QuickBooks, that kind of thing. So really what I'm looking for here is what your learning experience was. The sixth section of your report is about the benefits and advantages of using QuickBooks. How can it help to save time, be more accurate, help in the data-driven decision-making process, etc. The seventh section of your report is about examples. Provide an example or maybe a case study that you found online specific to QuickBooks and how it played a crucial role. The last part, last two parts of your report is on the future application, how you think you might use QuickBooks in the future, whether you're going into business management or anything related. How might you use it? You might use it if you're a business owner, you'll probably use it. If you're going into business management, you'll probably use it. It might not be QuickBooks, but it might be something similar. So tell me about what the potential future applications are for you and how it will benefit your future professional growth. And then the last part of your report is the conclusion, summarizing key takeaways about your experience with QuickBooks throughout this course. And then include any references that you found online or or from the learning materials in the classroom, etc. So not long. The report doesn't have to be long, about 800 to 1,000 words. So that's what, a couple pages. Try to use APA formatting. That'd be awesome. And just make sure that you use Microsoft Word and then upload your document like you normally would. Yep. So you'll come here, you'll drop your submission in, and then click submit. Simple. That is due by Friday, this coming Friday. So why Friday? Because technically classes end tomorrow. The final exams begin on Friday for UDC. So in order for us not to have too much overlap, that's why it's due on Friday. Okay. This was ultimately due this past Sunday, but then I realized, hey, you know what? Let's give a couple more days. So this this QuickBooks learning report is due on Friday. So just make sure you include all 10 items in your report that we have outlined here in the instructions. It should be an APA format, 800 to 1,000 words. So it's not terribly long, a couple pages. Okay, any questions on the report? QuickBooks report due Friday. Good.
Yeah, I'm good, sir.
Well, I know you're good, Leland.
Oh, okay.
Akia, Ty, any
Yes.
questions?
No, I've got it.
Okay, awesome. Sounds good. Great. Okay, so that's the QuickBooks report found on week 15. Now, the reason why you're probably all here is a review of the final exam. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to open this up in a separate tab. And I'm doing this for a reason, okay? I'm actually going to open up 3 tabs because I'm nuts. But no, because I need 3 tabs. I'm going to show you why. You know me by now, hopefully. I'm a pretty methodical type of person, and pretty much everything that I do with everything with intention, and I deal with everything with the end result in mind. And so I'm going to show you the keys to success for taking the final exam and doing very, very well. And then after I show you, actually, you know what? Before I show you, Leland recently took the final exam because it's open and available. He decided to go forward and do it early, which is totally fine. So before I show you the final exam and show you the secrets to success, Leland, I would love for you to briefly talk to your classmates about 2 things. One about your experience writing the QuickBooks report, and the other one about the final exam. So Leland, if you don't mind.
Oh, okay. Well, for the QuickBook summary report, I found it not too difficult to write because of all the information that this course provides on QuickBooks and the linked learning. So, for example, we have the QuickBook essential training, and then we had QuickBooks tips and tricks. There was so much material in those videos. Within those videos, there's like 20 videos about different stuff like sorting bills and stuff like that. So it was so much information for me to grab and hold on to, and then use that for the summary report. And then at the end, all I had to do was talk about how I may use it in the future. So I found that not too difficult to write, actually, because it was so much material for the class to use. So you just use those videos. You don't even have to look outside the internet and look for a deep dive in it, because all the information is there in the videos.
Mm.
But a final exam, well, I found that not too difficult only because you made it. There was no time limit. So
Yep.
and so I think you made it so you can like do some questions, then exit out, and maybe like I think it was a save and quit option. So I was able to.
Correct.
So yeah, so that if you just use your PowerPoint slides for the different chapters and then kind of take your time, you don't have to rush through it or anything. So because
Oh,
of
yeah.
that, it's kind of hard not to pass. You made it so it was not too difficult, and it's not 50 or 100 questions. So like some other.
Right. Right. It's not as terrible as Principles of Accounting 1 because there are 50 questions on that
Yeah,
exam.
I remember that one having more questions if I remember.
Well, just before this class, I taught the last class for Principles 1, and I showed them the 50 questions. They're not too happy with me, but but you got to remember that class was a lot longer too.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, thank you, Leland, for sharing your experience. That's hopefully that helps your classmates a little bit, at least when it comes to the process. I think that's very, very well said. So when it comes to the final exam, just like Leland had mentioned, we do have a save and close feature, which is awesome. So you can start this now if you wanted to. You'll notice that there are 25 questions on the final exam. Just like the way the midterm was structured, the final exam is structured the same way. So what that means is that the final exam covers those last 8 weeks of the course. So with that, I think there were only a couple of chapters that we covered in the last part of the course. There, you'll notice that there's 25 questions, and they go in order. So as Leland had mentioned, what I recommend that you do, just like what Leland did, is that you want to start here. So in week 10, we talked about budgeting, for example. And if you go into instruction materials and open up the chapter 22 PowerPoint presentation on budgeting, and you'll scroll down and you'll you'll see some information here. So if we look at the first question, we know it's from chapter 22 because it says company budget production. So that we're looking at the production budget. We're trying to figure out the direct labor budget, right? So that's what the question is breaking it down as. So how do I find direct labor? I go through the budgeting process, looking for the direct labor part of the budget. Which, as you recall, first you do sales and production and all that fun stuff, then direct materials, and then labor. So how do I find the cost of labor budget, number of units I need to produce, times the direct labor hours required per unit, times the direct labor cost per hour. So I know that that's my cost for direct labor. So as long as I know that formula, I can punch that data into that formula and be able to solve this question. So questions, as you would suspect, questions 1, 2, 3, looks like 4, and 5. The first 5 questions, final exam, come from chapter 22 because they're all related to budgeting. Now, here's the other thing. So tip 1 is have the PowerPoint presentation open for chapter 22 and answer those first 5 questions on the final exam. Then click Save and Close. Now, in addition to having the PowerPoint presentation open on a separate tab, I recommend that you go up to that same chapter and remember that you took a quiz on that, on budgeting. So if you go back in and open up your quiz, you'll notice some similarities. Now, the questions aren't the exact same, but you might notice some similarities on your quiz. So 2 things I think that you should have open as you're answering the questions for each chapter. One is the PowerPoint presentation. The second thing is the quiz that you took for that chapter. You got those 2 things open. What it does is it's going to help you in terms of answering these questions, right? Some of the questions, again, are going to be somewhat similar. Like here we go, this question right here on your quiz from chapter 22. In chapter 22, this question right here looks an awful lot like this question here on the final exam. Okay, so tips for success. Number 1, have the PowerPoint presentation open. Number 2, have your quiz open. And those 2 things open are going to help you to answer the questions on the exam. So question on the final exam, questions 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, they come from the, what was that, budgeting? Yeah, they come from the master budgeting presentation. That's chapter 22, master budgeting. Master budgeting, chapter 22, first 5 questions on the final exam. So have your PowerPoint presentation open and have your quiz open. And you got those 2 things open alongside your final exam. You should be able to get all those first 5 questions correct. And then click Save and Close on your final exam. And then go down, take a short break, and then come back, and then you want to go on to the next week. Week 11, flexible budgets and standard costs. On one tab, I'm going to have my PowerPoint presentation open for chapter 23. On the other tab, I'm going to have my chapter 23 quiz open. Okay, now I got the 2 of them open, chapter 23 PowerPoint, chapter 23 quiz. I'm going to reopen my final exam. Then I'm going to come down to questions 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Questions 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. You're going to find those 5 questions, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 on the final exam. You're going to find those from flexible budgets and standard costs, chapter 23. So questions 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 come from chapter 23. You'll scroll down on your PowerPoint presentation, and you'll be able to work through some of these questions. Yes, some of these, of course, are math driven, but they're formula driven, right? They're not math driven. They're formula driven. So it's just a matter of what is the formula? Total controllable cost variance. That's the formula I need to use in order to solve. So I come to my chapter 23 PowerPoint. What am I looking for? Total controllable cost variance. Okay, cost variances, right? I come down to controllable cost variance, wherever the heck that is. Controllable variance, boom. I plug in the numbers into my formula, and I solve for that question. Okay, again, having the PowerPoint presentation open and your quiz from that respective chapter. Why? Because, once again, you're going to see some similarities. Okay, so I strongly encourage you to have your quiz and your PowerPoint open. Chapter 23 is going to help you with questions 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Once you've answered those 5 questions, save and close. Do the same thing again. That same process. I'm telling you, the process is where it's all at. You come down to the following week, performance measurement responsibility accounting. Open up the PowerPoint presentation for that one. Open up the quiz for that one. This is chapter 24. And then reopen your final exam. And what a shock. Questions 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15 are going to be coming from chapter 24. Once again, it's all about that process. So for each set of 5 questions, have the related PowerPoint and have the related quiz open. Answer those 5 questions, save and close, and do the same exact process again for the next batch and then the last batch. Chapter 25 is questions 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. And the last chapter, chapter 26, covers questions 21, 22, 23, 24, and 25. So again, the process is every 5 questions is a chapter. First 5 questions on the exam follow chapter 22. Next 5 questions is 23. The next 5 questions is 24. The next 5 questions is 25. And the last 5 questions is chapter 26. If you have the respective PowerPoint presentations and quizzes open, and you follow everything in order, there's no reason why you shouldn't ace this final exam. Does it make sense? Kia and Tai, does it make sense?
Yes, that makes sense.
Okay, awesome. All right, cool. Awesome. So that is going to be your tips for success on passing this final exam. And so we have 2 actionable items to complete remaining for this course. Number 1 is, and by Friday night, you need to have your written report completed, the QuickBooks Learning Summary Report. And by the 17th, a week from today, have the final exam completed. Unfortunately, I cannot accept either of those 2 things late. So that's the policy on that. So let's start now and get them both done. You know the process, you know the procedure. There's no reason why you shouldn't do well on these things. Any other comments, questions, or concerns before I give you some last parting words of wisdom?
No.
No? Good? Okay, fair enough. Okay. Parting words of wisdom. This has been a very long 16 weeks, but we managed to get through it together. You all have been very diligent in completing your work. You have been on top of it. You've tried your absolute best. Even when we stumble a little bit, get a little behind, you manage to catch back up. You manage to stay on top of it. And I want to say thank you for all of that. I think that you all have been making a very valiant effort, and I'm very confident that you'll all do well. You all have done your absolute best, and that's all we can ask for. And you should be proud of yourself for getting through this. And not just this course. I mean, yeah, this course is pretty straightforward. You know that. But you managed to get through everything else too. It's over 16 weeks, you managed to have a lot of things thrown at you, and you did well. And you should be proud of yourself for that. Some of you are finishing, you're graduating this semester. Congratulations, that's awesome. Some of you are thinking about doing other things. Some of you are thinking about going on to the bachelor's side. Awesome. Keep up the life progress. I want you to stay in touch with me. Reach out to me through LinkedIn. Reach out to me periodically. You have my email, you got my cell phone number, you got my LinkedIn. Stay in touch. If you ever need anything beyond this course, reach out to me. I go beyond this course, right? Just like y'all are. So do I. So stay in touch. If you ever think I could help you in some way or another, reach out to me. I'll be happy to help you. Send me your resume if you're looking for work. Let's talk about opportunities. Talk to me about your future plans. If you're ever questioning something, reach out to me. I'll be happy to help wherever I can. So it's been great working with all of you. I've really enjoyed it. Hopefully you learned something from this course, something you could take with you. Definitely the LinkedIn Learning Certificates, add those to your profile, take those with you. If you're ever like, hey, I'd like some more resources just so I don't forget this stuff, let me know. Be happy to help you out. Hopefully you learned something. You could use it in the future. If not, you learned other skills just by taking this course. Some of you become better writers. Some of you become better thinkers. Some of you developed other skills, whether it's studying skills or whatever. There's a lot of other things that you may haven't thought about, other skills that you did develop, but maybe you don't think about it that way. So hopefully you got some out of this course. But I really appreciate have worked with all of you. It's been great for me and great for you. And, it's been an awesome experience. So I want to say thank you. Thank you to all of you. If you ever need anything, you just reach out, okay?
Thank you, Dr. B. It was a pleasure. I appreciate all that you did for us, both semesters 1 and 2. I appreciate you as a teacher. I appreciate your the way you just everything about your learning style. I appreciate it because me personally, this was actually like my second or third time from North Carolina, of course. So in North
Yeah.
Carolina, it's not accounting 1 and 2, it's principles of managerial and
Right.
financial. So
Yep.
it was hard for me, but getting with you, I know that I really learned it, retained it, and really grasped accounting. So I really appreciate you, and I'm gonna always shout you out, especially at graduation.
Yeah, please do, Ty. Yeah, no, definitely. I'm really curious about, everything that you're doing. And, I really do appreciate that, and I appreciate your kind words. And, yeah, definitely stay in touch for sure. I'm
I
really
definitely will forever.
awesome. That sounds great. I appreciate that. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yeah, I just want to add on to what Ty said. Thank you. I appreciate for all that you do for us. You make it very easy and flexible for us to be able to be successful in this class by providing us with those tools. And
Yeah.
I'm just thankful. I was in principles 1 with you and 2, so you've been there. So thank you.
Oh, Makia, me. I try to stand by everyone and do, especially my students, because I care a lot about all of you. I do. You're the reason why I do what I do. You're the reason why I teach. You're the passion behind what I do for a living. I care a lot about all of you. I care a lot about how you're doing. I care a lot about what you're learning. Um, it means a lot to me because I'm able to provide you with my knowledge and, try to get you some new skills. And, you know, uh, you're the reason why I do it. So thank you for saying that. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you, Professor, for all the. I learned a lot in your courses, and my other professor said I need to do a better job of networking. So maybe I can. I'll reach out to you in the future if I need an opportunity or something.
Definitely. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Please do. Yeah. Awesome. Thanks again, Leland. I appreciate it. And thanks for letting me call on you a couple times throughout the course. I enjoyed our back and forths.
No problem. Absolutely.
Oh, great. Well, thank you all so much for your time. I sincerely appreciate all of you. I wish you all the best. I know that you'll do well. I know it. I'm very confident. So let's finish strong, okay? Let's get that report in, get that final exam in, and let's rock and roll with this thing, okay? Let's finish strong. We're there. We just gotta finish it. Thank you all so much. I appreciate all of you, and stay in touch, okay?
Thank
All right.
you.
Thank you. Happy
Thank you
holidays,
very much.
guys.
Take
All right,
care.
happy
Happy
holidays,
holidays.
all of
Merry
you.
Christmas.
Enjoy your
Catch you
Christmas.
later. Thank you. Take care. Bye bye.
See ya.
See ya.